this is an indicator that tells me exactly when to buy and when to sell. And in this video, I'm gonna spend the next 5 days and $500 seeing if you could actually make money using it. Anyone with common sense would tell you this won't work, but I'm here to prove them wrong and get rich quick. Okay, maybe I'm joking about getting rich quick, but I took a look at one of these indicators and honestly, it looks pretty promising. But it seems too good to be true, and all experienced traders would tell you that you're going to lose money. But it made me think that maybe the people that are using this indicator and losing money are just new to trading. But maybe if I add some of my own risk management but still buy and sell when it tells me to, I could come out profitable. But before we get to the challenge, let's rewind a bit to actually finding the indicator. My plan is just to use YouTube to find a free buy sell indicator, because if I'm going to use a tool that's probably going to lose me money, I do not want to pay for it. And I already tried looking at the most popular buy sell indicator, which is one from Lux Algo, and they're trying to charge me $68 a month, and YouTube AdSense has not been hitting this month. So we're going for the budget free version, and I'm pretty sure I could find pretty much the same thing for free. So let me load up YouTube real quick. All right, so buy sell indicator. If you try this, I don't want to be responsible for you losing money, so I'm not going to show you what video I watched, but it looks like there's some pretty good results, so I'm just going to click on one.
Why Sigma mills are more attractive than alpha mills. Stay tuned.
So I just finished watching the video and setting it up, and this is actually crazy. So the first video I clicked on, I actually found one that works completely free. And as you can see, it literally tells me exactly when to sell and when to buy. If I bought here, then that would have been a pretty good trade. I mean, there is some that aren't great. Like I said, to sell right here and then immediately pretty much switch to buy. But I feel like the wins are so much bigger that it will just cancel out. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but this looks pretty good. But I'm gonna wait till Monday to trade with this so I can get a full weekend. I got everything set up, just waiting for Monday, so I'll see you guys then. All right, first let's just lay out some basic rules to make this make more sense. If the indicator signals to buy, then I'm going to buy an options contract for around $100. If you're not familiar with what options are, then explaining it extremely simply, it's basically just a way to make your money worth more. So we're going to lose and make money a lot quicker. I'm going to be buying either a call or a put option based on what the indicator says. If the indicator says to buy, then I'm going to buy a call option, which means I'm betting on the stock going up. And if the indicator says to sell, then I'm going to buy a put option, which means I'm betting on the stock going down. And that's all you really need to know. But if you're familiar with options and want to know exactly what contracts I'm going to get, I'm just going to buy one slightly out of the money 1 day until expiration option for every trade. But let's get right into day one.
All this money on me make me want to poop.
Alright, so on day one, as soon as I woke up, I actually ended up taking a trade. The indicator signaled to buy all morning since pre-market, and since I'm not buying in the first 30 minutes of market open, I didn't take a trade until it signaled puts or signaled to sell at the close of the 7:25 candle. So at 7:26, I bought a SPY 486 put for $90.
Finally got the first candle that said sell. We'll see how this goes. I don't know like where my stop loss is gonna be. I'm just gonna sell when it turns green. We'll see.
After getting the really bad fill, we just kept moving sideways, and eventually at the highest point, I was up $7.50, and I thought about selling just because we kept wicking off this area, but I ended up not selling because it never signaled buy. But it had already been a while and I hadn't sold the trade, so I had to go to school because I took this trade before I even went to school. And so at school, it actually ended up signaling buy, so I sold for a $14 loss. And I played around by looking at some of the higher time frames, and I noticed on the 30-minute time frame, I actually signaled buy, so it gave me an idea that maybe we should also use the higher time frames. But for the rest of the day, I'm not going to be using any of my own risk management. I'm just going to see if the indicator could do well on its own. So as you can see, it did signal to buy, and I sold with like 2 seconds left on the candle. But in those 2 seconds, I actually ended up switching back to sell. So I thought about hopping back into the position that I was in, but I honestly did not feel confident about this trade at all. But it ended up being a good thing because it just kept moving up and I saved myself a lot of money. So I sold my position for a $14.50 loss, or about 16% in the red. And I'm taking all these trades while I'm at school, and I wanted to stop and show you my school breakfast because honestly, it looked absolutely disgusting. Look at my burrito they gave me. I'm not eating that. But anyway, it finally ended up switching to buy, and everything was going super well at first, but we did start approaching pre-market high, which a lot of times is a level that we reject off of, so I was a little bit cautious, and we ended up rejecting off of it so hard. And because of this rejection, it ended up saying to sell, so I sold my contracts and bought puts, and I sold that contract for a $6.50 loss. And again, on this trade, we really didn't do much. We just kind of went sideways. I didn't really like the trade, so I ended up selling early, even though it didn't tell me to sell, and I did sell it for an $8.50 loss. Not only because I didn't like the trade, but I was tired of watching the trade because I had to do my schoolwork. But again, it ended up working in my favor because I would have got stopped out for even more money. But when I checked the chart again, it told me to buy. And after that, I ended up just hopping out of the market because I was just so annoyed of just going back and forth and getting stopped out. But I really should not have. Yo, this is crazy. So I just got in my car. It's lunchtime right now, 12:32. Market closes at 1 p.m. for me, so in 30 minutes. And I decided to stop trading because I was just tired of the indicator. But the good thing was there were only like 5-10% losers.
Stop the cap.
but it was a mistake. I opened up my charts when I was in class like 5 minutes ago, and this is what I saw. It absolutely ripped. You remember me talking about that buy signal that made me hop out of the market? Well, that was the only trade that it signaled that I didn't take, and holding from when it told me to buy to when it told me to sell, I would have made $200. I don't even know what to say. It doesn't really matter though, because this at least gives me a proof of concept. So now I know that further on in the week, we could probably get another trade just like this. Like, that stuff happens all the time, especially with trading. But I'm making lunch right now and I'm toasting something, so I gotta go make sure it doesn't burn. Actually, I'll take you guys with me. They're actually like kind of perfect. Hopefully I did a sick transition with that.
All this money on me, make me wanna poop.
There were a lot of trades today, and I ended up taking 7. For the first trade of the day, I bought a SPY put for $90, and then I sold it for $95 about 20 minutes later. And that was after we came back to the area that we just kept rejecting off of. I sold, and as you can see in the time lapse, we ended up rejecting pretty hard off of that area. Next, while it was my first period at school, the indicator signaled to buy, so I bought a call for $77. But we saw this candle reject pretty hard off of pre-market high, and then I ended up selling at high of day at $8.48 for $86. It was 13 minutes long, and I only made $9 because it was a cheaper contract. But regardless, it was pretty nice to start off the day with 2 wins after what happened yesterday. And after that, we ended up getting a sell signal. So after the candle closed, I ended up buying a put for $101. We made a move up and then rejected hard. These contracts were moving terribly, and I was only up about $2.50 right here. And then we had a pretty big candle down, and I ended up selling for a $9 gain. But this was a huge mistake, and this is where adding my own risk management to the challenge failed me. Selling when I thought I should sell has saved me earlier on in the challenge, but even though this trade was a winner, I missed out on a ton of money. The contract started moving a lot better, and we made a pretty big move down, and I would have been up $40 on my contract that I sold for a $9 gain. At this point, I was up $22 on the day, and I thought about hopping out of the market with my green day, but then I remembered what happened yesterday when I decided to stop trading and ended up buying calls because the indicator said to, and I got stopped out really quickly. So since it said to sell, I bought puts and got stopped out almost instantly. So I just realized I actually didn't get stopped out almost instantly. As you can see, I was up like $8.50, and I didn't end up selling because I learned my lesson earlier in the day not to sell early, and the very next candle I ended up getting stopped out. But we were now in calls, and things were starting to look pretty good, and then we ended up seeing a pretty nasty reaction off of this level that I had marked. And can you guess what happened next? Yeah, we got stopped out again. So we take puts again, and once again get stopped out. This is a prime example of how bad this indicator is when we're trading within a range. 4 losing trades in a row, and just like that, we give back all the money we made plus more. I ended the day down $18.86 after being up over $20. But I still actually do have faith for tomorrow because we were profitable at the beginning of the day. And honestly, the only thing I think I could have improved on today was selling early. If I didn't sell that one big trade early, then we still would have been profitable on the day. But it's also a tricky situation because selling early has saved me a lot of money, but it's also made me miss out on a ton. Anyways, I think I have a pretty good chance of coming out profitable tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then. By the way, in my last video, a lot of people were confused on how I got around the PDT rule, which is a rule that doesn't let you take more than 3 trades a week if your account has less than $25,000 in it. And obviously, I'm only trading with $500 with this challenge, and my account only has $3,000 in it. But I'm actually able to take all these trades because of my broker. They offer something with the cash account that lets you get around the PDT rule. And also, if you've seen my videos on TikTok, I've been using Webull to invest $5 every single day, and it's almost been a year. And I've been using Webull for about a year and a half now. Honestly, so far, I have no complaints. They don't even take a commission. It's only like a 12-cent fee when you buy or sell an options contract. So I left a link to sign up for Webull down in the description. If you sign up and put money into your account, they'll give you some free stocks and also me, so it helps out the channel so I can make more videos like this. Anyway, I don't want to take too much of your time, so links in the description, but let's get right back to the video.
All this money on me, make me wanna poop.
So it's the 3rd day of the challenge. I'm starting to understand this indicator a lot better and when I should take the trades and when not to. Today I made the decision not to for most of the day because we had FOMC. If you don't know what that is, it's news, and basically what it does to the market is it makes it move very strongly because there's a ton of money being either bought or sold of a stock. So I waited until the last 2 hours of the market open to trade just so I didn't get caught in the trade where the news made me lose a ton of money. And it ended up being a good decision because looking back in the day, we would have lost a lot of money. It did the thing where it goes back and forth and back and forth and you just lose more and more money. But in those last 2 hours, I did actually end up taking a trade, and it was on SPDR Gold Trust. And if I'm gonna be 100% honest, it wasn't because the indicator told me to. I had a level marked, and once it reached that level, I was gonna buy calls. But right after I took that trade, the indicator ended up signaling buy, and I was already in calls, so I kind of traded with the indicator, but I didn't take it because of the indicator. And this might be a controversial decision, but I'm gonna decide to keep it in the challenge because I'm gonna need every bit of help that I could get. So the trade ended up actually getting really close to my take profit and then rejecting. So I ended up selling for a $19 gain because we were only like 1 or 2 pips away from hitting my take profit. And I sold after it came down a bit, so I didn't make all the money I could have, but still I made $19 on this trade. And after I closed my position, we actually would not have hit take profit. We ended up absolutely tanking and it would have hit my stop loss. And that was the only trade that I took that day. And I actually ended up later switching to sell, but I didn't take it because I was already up on the day. And that was in the last hour of market open. And when we get to that last hour, it gets a little bit more risky to trade. Why am I saying this? I didn't take a trade because it was too risky. I don't know why I care about how risky it is. I'm literally using a indicator that tells me when to buy and when to sell. That is extremely risky. But anyway, the total gain on the day was $19. It was the first day that we ended green. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All this money on me, make me wanna poop.
So this morning I accidentally slept through my alarm and missed a pretty good trade, but I still did get a winning trade. The indicator signaled to buy, so I did, and everything was going pretty good, but then we wicked off of the 200 EMA pretty hard. And right when all this was happening, my teacher said we had to go to the library for a presentation, and during that we weren't allowed to have our phones out, so I had to make a decision. Either hold the trade throughout the whole presentation, which could have been 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, I had no clue how long it was, or sell right now and secure a small profit. I chose to play it safe and sell for a couple dollars profit. And can you guess what happened next? We absolutely skyrocketed. If I would have held until it said to sell, then I would have made $100 on this trade. I don't even know what to say. I'm so bad at trading. But later in the day, we actually had a chance to redeem ourselves with a second trade. After I missed that initial big move up, we started to move downwards. We got a sell signal, so I bought puts. But then we just turned back around and I got stopped out for an $11 loss. So with that, we bought calls. And I got stopped out again for a $19 loss this time. Our total profit loss in the day was negative $20.36. I'm so bad.
All this money on me, make me wanna poop.
Today is our last day to make back all of our money. And with some of these huge trades we've seen, we might actually be able to do it. And to start off the day, like I said, I'm not trading within the first 30 minutes of market open. And from the second candle to the first few hours, it just said to buy. So I didn't end up taking a trade until about midway through the day when it signaled puts finally. And it feels like all the days are blending in now because I say the same thing pretty much every single day. So let me ask you, what do you think happened next? We got stopped out. For some reason, I actually kind of lost a lot of money on this trade compared to the other ones. I lost $20 on this trade. But since it signaled buy, we were now in calls. We were up about $11.50 at one point, and right here we were up $7.50. And literally in the next candle, we got stopped out. And this was our biggest trade, a $30.50 loss. Our total profit loss on the day was negative $54.24. And in the challenge, our total profit loss was negative $106.04. Yeah, please don't try this for yourself, but if you want to see how much YouTube pays me, then you can watch this video right here. And thanks for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you guys in the next video.